Welcome back, everybody. We are getting into chapter 2.2. So 2.2, we're going to talk about the multiplication property of equality as well as the division property of equality. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So let's say they asked you to solve, and let's do negative t over 3 equals 5. Okay. So let's say they said to solve negative t over 3 equals 5. Well, that looks a little different than anything we've covered. This is the exact same thing as saying negative 1/3 t equals 5. That one is assumed, okay? So if you need to rearrange it and turn it into more of a proper fraction, that's totally fine by me, okay? Now, the easiest way to deal with eliminating a fraction in these type of problems is to use the multiplication property. So what you're going to do is you're going to multiply by the reciprocal on both sides of the equal sign. Okay, so you're actually going to take negative 3 over 1. So this is what I mean by the reciprocal. It's the opposite. You're flipping it. Kind of like when we divided fractions, we took the reciprocal and we flipped the second. That's what we're going to do here. So we're now multiplying negative 3 over 1 times the 1/3 t equals, but I have to do it on both sides, okay? So what I do to one side of the equal sign, I have to do to the other. So I also have to multiply both sides by that reciprocal, okay? And I know I'm going to put the 5 over 1 to turn it into a fraction, okay? Now we can go ahead and simplify. So this is just multiplying two fractions together. We've done that. We did a whole chapter of this, okay? Look diagonally, see if we can cancel. The 3's cancel and becomes 1. So now I have a negative 1 times a negative 1. Well, that's a positive 1, and I'm left with a t equals, now I have 5 times a negative 3 is a negative 15 over 1, which is just negative 15 for our answer. So it helps us eliminate those fractions and makes it a whole lot easier. The other way that you could do these problems would be to divide, and it gets very messy very quickly, and usually steps are done a little bit incorrectly. So this is the easiest way to tackle these problems. All right, let's do another with the multiplication property. Let's do solve t over 4 equals 6. So once again, if you need to rewrite this to 1/4 t equals 6, that's totally fine by me. It means the exact same thing, okay? So now I need to go ahead and multiply by the reciprocal. This is a 1/4 t, so the reciprocal would be 4 over 1. So now I have 4 over 1 times 1/4 t equals 6, and I'm going to put it over 1 to turn it to a fraction, times that reciprocal 4 over 1. Okay, remember what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. Now I'm multiplying fractions. So I notice that 4 and 4 cancel, become 1s, and if I multiply straight across, I'm left with 1t. Okay, I'm left with 1t, and here 6 times 4 gives us 24. It's over 1, so it stays 24. So like I said, this is an easier way of handling this type of problem. So let's do one that's a little longer and has a couple more steps in it, okay? So let's start putting everything together. Let's go ahead and do 3 plus 7 equals 6x plus 8x minus 9x. So this has a few steps in it before we deal with that multiplication property, okay? That would, yeah. Sorry, I'm deciding if I want to do this problem or not. This will be fine. We'll go ahead and tackle it. Okay, so let's start on the left-hand side of the equal sign and see if we can simplify, and we can, right? I can add 3 plus 7 together to get 10. Equals, now, order of operations on the right-hand side. I need to handle the 6x plus 8x first to give us a 14x minus 9x. Now, if you notice, these both have x's, they're both like terms, so I can go ahead and simplify. So I'm going to bring down the 10 equals 14x minus 9x gives us 5x. Now there's another property that's going to make this easier, but for right now, let's just go ahead and apply that multiplication property. So this is 5 over 1, and I need to multiply by the reciprocal, which would be 1/5. And I need to do that on both sides. So now that 10 is over 1. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and simplify. 5 goes into 5 one time and goes into 10 two times. So when I multiply across, I'm left with a whole number 2. Looking at the right-hand side of the equal sign, the 5's cancel, become 1s, and I'm left with an x. So x is 2, okay? So that is using that multiplication property. Now, there is another property that we use, and when we're dealing with whole numbers, it makes it easier than using that multiplication property. Now, it's very helpful dealing with a multiplication property when we have fractions, okay? If we don't have fractions, we have whole numbers, the division property is great. So let's say we were given 5x equals 2x plus 12, okay? Let's say that's what we were given. We need to move everything that has an x onto one side of the equal sign. So we haven't dealt with a problem that's done that yet, okay? Not all the x's are together. They need to be together. So everything that has an x needs to be on one side. It has a variable, and it may not be an x, right? It could be a z, it could be a y. Everything else that does not have a variable attached to it, so your constants in the problem, this would be your constant, your 12, they need to be on the other side of the equal sign. So we need to kind of shuffle and move some stuff around. Now, to move the 2x over to the 5x, remember we have to do the opposite operation. This is a positive 2x. So we're going to subtract 2x on both sides of the equal sign. And then we're going to simplify. Well, 5x minus 2x is 3x equals, well, 2x minus 2x cancels. That's what we want. And we're going to bring down our positive 12. Now, before, we just used the multiplication property. It's a whole number, so it's easier to use the division property. So once again, you're using the opposite operation. This is 3 times x. Well, the opposite of multiplication is division. So you can divide both sides by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1x. That's perfect. You can write the 1 if you want, you don't have to. And then we're going to simplify. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So like I said, this is an easier way to kind of handle that. Like I said, you can use it if you want to. Or you could use that multiplication property, but with dealing with whole numbers, that's going to be more work. Okay? All right, let's do another. Let's do 2x minus 5 equals negative 3x plus 10, okay? All right, so this time I have more work to do. I need all the x's on one side of the equal sign, and I need all the constants, all the numbers moved to the other side that don't have a variable, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and move the 3x over first to the left-hand side. So this is a negative 3x. So we are now going to add 3x to both sides. So now I'm going to take 2x plus 3x to get 5x. I'm going to bring down that minus 5 equals, well, negative 3 plus 3x cancels and becomes 0. And I'm going to go ahead and bring down that positive 10. Now I need to move the negative 5 over to the right-hand side with the 10 so that that x is isolated, that it's by itself on the left-hand side. This is a negative 5, so we're going to add 5 to both sides. So negative 5 plus 5 cancels. I'm going to bring down our 5x equals 10 plus 5 is 15. Now we're ready to use that division property, right? This is 5 times x, so the opposite is division. So we're going to divide both sides by 5. So it's important, right? We always do the operation to both sides of the equal sign. So 5 divided by 5 becomes 1. So we're left with x equals 15 divided by 5 is 3. Okay? So I hope that's kind of making a little bit more sense. We're going to be doing several of these type of problems, okay? So we're going to do some more of these actually in 2.3. We're just going to keep applying all of this together. So if you have more questions, please let me know. There's a couple more examples in the notes. All right, thanks, guys.